Hey, this is Seb, and today we're taking a look at the brand new CDLC for Arma 3, namely Western Sahara by Rotators Collective. If you're new to Arma or the CDLC program, it's basically content created by third-party studios and published through Bohemia Interactive. This is the fourth CDLC we are getting out of them, and there are probably a lot more in the works. But anyway, I'm gonna go through what is new and what is interesting about this CDLC. The Western Sahara CDLC is heavily focused on bringing back the Ion faction. Ion is a private military corporation, or PMC, that has been present in the Armaverse since at least 2010, when they released the PMC DLC for Arma 2. Some of the PMC assets from Arma 2 are present today in mods, for instance Cup, but this CDLC breathes some new life into the faction itself, and gives them a new set of guns and new equipments and so on, as well as a brand new playground to roam around in. That playground is the new terrain named Sefrou-Ramal. I'm very sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but this terrain is literally a sandbox. It's unique for being really detailed and a desert map. The terrain is uniquely formed with sand dunes and tents and oases, but for being a desert map it's not very big. It lacks any major town and it can be traversed rather quickly, but despite this I think the map holds its own. It's in its defense, having a bigger map would probably ruin the sand dune effect and make it less prominent. I think making it much bigger would just take away from the terrain's overall identity, and Sefrou-Ramal is a welcome option from say something like Pakistan. For factions, we have the UNA Peacekeepers, the Sefrawi Freedom and Independence Army, we have tribes, the Tura tribes or insurgents, and we have the Desert NATO forces, and of course the return of the PMC company Ion Services. Now let's just jump right into the content here, and here is probably my biggest feedback to this particular CDLC. There are not too many new notable assets, but let's go over what I find really cool and what I think makes the purchase justifiable for at least myself. And just to be clear, I like what the Rotators Collective did here. I just wish they did more of it, and of course I hope they add a lot more in the updates that are to come. The XM8 Bullpup rifle. Now this is something I did not expect, but I'm really into this rifle. It's really cool. Other than that, they added a deployable shield. Yes, you heard me correctly, a deployable shield, and this is the cherry on top. They have a drone with a gun, and this thing is so massively overpowered, it's hilarious. And I really hope I'm gonna get to use this in a lot of missions. There are of course other vehicles and some static guns, and there are new uniforms, like the desert uniforms for the NATO forces. And final but not least, we got camels. Now with the Western Sahara we are getting a new game mode called Extraction. And Extraction is a new scenario that takes a lot of inspiration from Old Man by BI. It's a mission based scenario that plays like an open world game, where you can play solo or as a team with up to 4 people in co-op. So in Extraction you're playing as Ion PMC, a team called Sword. You're tasked with extracting a captured journalist from a local warlord, and the team names are direct homage to the Arma 2 PMC campaign. What makes it stand out is that you collect intel from dead enemies and complete missions to nail down the location of the journalist. All intel picked up gets placed in an ops tent, and you try to get to 100%, and how you go about that is somewhat up to you. The missions are dynamically generated but are, in my opinion, pretty basic, so prepare for a lot of HVT eliminations, intel collection, eliminate all enemies in a specific area, and so on. There are also optional side quests like demining a civilian area or defending checkpoints as well, and that will provide you with intel. From camp you can use your hard-earned money that you earned along the way to change gear in arsenal or hiring AI PMC operators. Traversing the map is also made pretty easy with a fast travel option, and if you're in the field you can call in a helicopter named Poseidon and it will pick you up and bring you back to base. Or you can drive, it's up to you. For other game modes you have King of the Dunes, which is literally a spin-off of King of the Hill. It's PvP, and if you like PvP and King of the Hill, you're gonna like King of the Dunes. There's also a game mode that is where you defend against waves of enemies, and it's called Last Stand. Lastly, there are some well done VR missions and time trials that you can check out. Overall, the content, the map and the game mode put together, I think this is worth the purchase. But is it the best CDLC? No. It reminds me a little bit of Global Mobilization in the way that there was not enough content available immediately at launch. But for what is there, it's really well polished, and in the long run I can see this being a really good CDLC to pick up. I can definitely see myself creating cinematics and scenarios on the map and with these assets that we have been given. I'm gonna leave you with your decision to buy or not to buy. You can support me by subscribing and commenting on what you liked best with this new CDLC. Please take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.